Emily Brontë, Wuthering Heights. Prepare to be drawn into the raw, unyielding world of Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights, a tale where fierce emotions and tumultuous relationships redefine the very essence of love and revenge. In this summary, you'll delve beyond a mere love story, encountering characters whose bonds are both their greatest strength and a source of deep torment. Spanning across generations, the narrative follows the tragic yet compelling saga of Heathcliff and Catherine, whose passionate yet destructive love leaves a lasting impact on all those connected to them. Through a lens of intense emotional conflict and dark motivations, discover how their tale shapes the lives of subsequent generations within the oppressive moorlands of the Yorkshire countryside. Wuthering Heights challenges conventional notions of romance, presenting a Gothic masterpiece that explores the boundaries of the human heart, the inevitability of retribution, and the enduring presence of the past.
Shadows of Devotion. Step into the wild beauty of Yorkshire in 1801, where the stormy moors cradle a tale as tumultuous as the weather itself. Within the walls of Wuthering Heights, a remote farmhouse, Heathcliff, the enigmatic landlord, harbors a gruff exterior matched only by his turbulent soul. His life is a kaleidoscope of intense emotions, a vivid blend of love and loathing. Intrigued by the mystery surrounding Heathcliff, Lockwood, a temporary resident nearby at Thrushcross Grange, seeks to unravel the history behind Wuthering Heights' brooding atmosphere. When a chilling snowstorm strands Lockwood overnight at the Heights, a haunting apparition named Catherine shatters the nocturnal peace, thrusting Lockwood into Heathcliff's past. Driven by curiosity, he turns to Nellie Dean, the Grange's compassionate housekeeper, for insights into this spectral visitation. Nellie obliges, her memories serving as a time machine to the Wuthering Heights of 30 years prior. It was then that Mr. Earnshaw introduced an orphaned enigma, a boy named Heathcliff, into the Earnshaw household, sowing seeds of enmity and attachment. As an adopted child, Heathcliff seamlessly aligns with the Earnshaw's daughter, Catherine, while enduring Hindley's relentless cruelty. Despite Hindley's animosity, Catherine and Heathcliff forge an indelible bond, a connection so profound it becomes their shared identity. However, Catherine's ambition leans toward societal stature, embodied by her intention to wed the respectable Edgar Linton. She confides this to Nellie, oblivious to Heathcliff's overhearing, which propels him into an emotional abyss. Feeling betrayed, he vanishes, leaving Catherine in a storm of confusion and despair, her health deteriorating under oppressive worry. 3 years slip by before fate reunites the estranged lovers, their relationship emerging as the linchpin in an opera of passion and vengeance. Their connection isn't one of ethereal romance but embodies a love that consumes and obliterates, challenging the boundaries of self. Catherine integrates Heathcliff into her very being, declaring, "I am Heathcliff," yet their union is a dual-edged sword, a vulnerability and a weapon. Heathcliff's departure ignites not only his desire for Catherine but also an insidious vendetta against Hindley. This singular focus to repay the years of abuse choreographs the tragic dance that follows. Thus, Wuthering Heights transcends the typical romance, unfolding as a meditation on the extremes of human emotion. Heathcliff, in his pursuit, becomes a canvas painted with shades of devotion and spite. His love, dark and unyielding, fuses with hatred, forming a tumultuous existence. Heathcliff's narrative weaves through those turbulent years at Wuthering Heights, a saga of love scarred by suffering and consumed by revenge, revealing the intimate dance between affection and animosity in the human heart. Shadows of Love. In a tale of intense emotions and passionate conflicts, we witness Catherine's life at Thrushcross Grange with her husband, Edgar Linton. Their existence, however, is thrown into turmoil when Heathcliff makes a dramatic return. Catherine is thrilled to see him again, but Edgar is less enthusiastic, sensing the chaos Heathcliff brings. He considers Heathcliff to be untamed and a danger not just to Catherine, but also to others in their midst. Edgar's concerns are not without cause, especially when his sister, Isabella, falls hopelessly in love with Heathcliff. Despite being warned by everyone, including Catherine herself, that Heathcliff is more vicious and merciless than a predator, Isabella dives headlong into a relationship with him. Heathcliff, seizing a chance for revenge, knowingly pursues Isabella to provoke Edgar and Catherine, as if settling scores for past grievances. This tension escalates, leading to a bitter altercation between Heathcliff and Edgar that erupts into violence, forcing Heathcliff to leave. As turmoil reigns, Catherine succumbs to a troubled emotional state, isolated and unwell in her room for 2 months. During this period of instability, Heathcliff and Isabella elope, but soon their bond deteriorates. Isabella experiences Heathcliff's cruelty firsthand and regrets her impulsive marriage. Meanwhile, Catherine remains secluded, battling severe illness and awaiting the birth of her child. Upon hearing of Catherine's dire condition, Heathcliff forces his way to her side. Their reunion is charged with passion and pain, as they lay blame on each other for the tide of misery that has swept over them. Catherine accuses Heathcliff and Edgar of shattering her spirit, while Heathcliff argues that it was Catherine's choice that caused their mutual distress. In a tragically short span, Catherine gives birth and dies, leaving Heathcliff devastated at her loss, feeling as though he's lost a part of his very being. In desperation, he calls out to Catherine's spirit, longing for her haunting presence to remain with him. Edgar, too, mourns the loss of Catherine but channels his sorrow towards caring for their newborn daughter, Cathy. Isabella, now free from the desolate grip of her marriage, moves away to the south of England. There, she gives birth to Linton, Heathcliff's son. The narrative shifts focus to other characters' fates. Hindley, Catherine's brother, spirals into vice as an alcoholic and gambler. His reckless choices lead to mortgaging his home, Wuthering Heights, to Heathcliff, and eventually, he drinks himself to death, leaving behind a young son, Hareton. Heathcliff now possesses both Wuthering Heights and dominance over young Hareton, solidifying his grasp over the family's legacy. Even in death, Catherine seems to linger in the hearts of those she left behind. Though Heathcliff lives, so too does the spectre of Catherine, a seemingly eternal part of him. Heathcliff's darker inclinations emerge more clearly, his delight in Hindley's ruin underscores this. While one could argue these are remnants of childhood grudges, his consistent cruelty toward others reflects a more troubling aspect of his character. His calculated relationship with Isabella, his unyielding disdain for Edgar, and his cold taunting of a dying Catherine illustrate the depth of his vindictiveness. As the story progresses, we are introduced to a younger generation, Cathy, Edgar and Catherine's daughter, Linton, the product of Heathcliff and Isabella's tumultuous union, and Hareton, Hindley's orphaned son now under Heathcliff's care. These 3 cousins will soon find themselves embroiled in the ongoing narrative spun by Heathcliff's influence, as their lives become intertwined beyond mere familial ties and are instead shaped by the powerful, haunting legacy left in Heathcliff's wake. This next generation rises into a landscape still shadowed by the preceding one's passions and vendettas. Eternal Shadows of Wuthering Heights. Over the course of 12 years, Edgar devotes himself to raising his daughter, Cathy, fostering a profound bond rooted in love and closeness. In the south, far removed from Edgar and Cathy, Isabella lives with her son Linton until her passing leaves young Linton, at 12, to journey north to meet his father, Heathcliff. The reunion is far from familial bliss, as Linton is a frail, timid boy entirely under Heathcliff's domineering control, becoming an unwilling participant in his father's schemes. As 3 years pass, a secret romance blossoms between teenage Linton and his cousin Cathy. They communicate affectionately through letters, meeting in secrecy. Edgar, who nurtures a deep-seated distrust of Heathcliff, is anxious about this relationship. He tries to sever ties between Cathy and Linton to protect his daughter from Heathcliff's malignant influence. Heathcliff's designs become increasingly evident. He forcefully intertwines Cathy's fate with Linton's, confining her at Wuthering Heights until she consents to their union. Her driving concern, however, remains her ailing father, compelling her to agree to marriage under duress. She reaches her father's side just in time to bid him farewell as he succumbs to illness. With Edgar's death, life's course changes drastically for Cathy, and she finds herself amid a turbulent existence at Wuthering Heights. Linton's death, merely a year later, reveals the extent of Heathcliff's manipulation, as Cathy's inheritance is usurped, leaving her destitute and bound to the oppressive atmosphere of Wuthering Heights. Alongside her, bound by his own misfortune, is Hareton, her other cousin. Rough and unlettered, Hareton is another casualty of Heathcliff's vengeful machinations, blind to his rightful heritage and reduced to the status of a mere servant in the very home he should own. For a time, Wuthering Heights is home to a trio ensnared by Heathcliff's vendetta. Here, Nellie Dean, the housekeeper, paused her tale. When Lockwood, the observer and narrator, returns to the countryside after a year's absence, he finds change permeating the air of Wuthering Heights. Hareton and Cathy, through shared experiences and growing affection, find solace and love in each other despite a tense beginning. Meanwhile, a significant transformation befalls Heathcliff, whose demeanor grows increasingly bizarre. He abstains from food and rest, as if life itself has ebbed from his weary soul, fixated on one consuming desire, to reunite with Catherine, the lost love of his life. Heathcliff's demise is strangely serene, marked by a haunting peace on his face and whispered spectres of Catherine and him wandering the moors. Nellie's narration now concludes with the pending union of Cathy and Hareton. They plan to start anew at Thrushcross Grange, leaving the gloomy halls of Wuthering Heights behind as a relic of past sorrows and ambitions. In a final, poignant act, Lockwood visits the moors, reflecting at the graves of Edgar, Catherine, and Heathcliff, laid side by side as eternal companions. It's a serene conclusion wherein the storm of passions calms, suggesting a world where love transcends even death's boundaries. To appreciate the nuance of Wuthering Heights fully, one must consider not just the tempestuous history of Heathcliff and Catherine but also the narratives of Cathy, Linton, and Hareton, the second generation shaped by revenge. Heathcliff's intricate character unfolds through his relentless pursuit of vengeance. Yet, his machinations go beyond financial gain. Driven by a wish to make others bear the misery he felt in losing Catherine, his actions reveal a portrait of profound sadness and thwarted desires. His cold vendetta against the children of those he once loathed speaks of a legacy not just of hatred but also suffering. Despite the torment he caused, Heathcliff's final moments whisper of an oddly peaceful ending. In joining Catherine in death, he finds liberation, imagining an everlasting reunion beyond life's constraints. Their lore endures, echoing across the moors as a tale of undying love, illustrating that while death may claim the body, love can transcend it, lingering eternally in whispered legends and wandering spirits.
By the end of A Wuthering Heights, the whirlwind of Catherine and Heathcliff's tumultuous relationship has rippled through time, leaving behind a legacy of heartbreak, revenge, and a glimmer of redemption. Through their story and that of the next generation, we witness how unresolved passions and vengeful spirits can imprison souls, yet also reflect the enduring power of love, even in its most troubled forms. Heathcliff's relentless pursuit of Catherine resonates with the specter of lost dreams and unsated desires, driving him to manipulate and destroy, but also revealing a profound, melancholic longing for reunion. As their ghosts wander the moors, Heathcliff's death finally signals a release from earthly suffering, underscoring how profound connections can outlast mortal life. This Gothic epic remains a poignant exploration of love's complexities, painting a vivid picture of the human spirit's capacity for both pain and redemption, ensuring its place in literary history as an unparalleled study of emotion's darkest depths.